Today we're going to learn all about how to make animated end screens. For those of you who don't know, an end screen is a screen at the end of a YouTube video, and an animated end screen is the same thing, except, surprise surprise, it's animated. Now, years ago I used to love watching those cooking programs with the likes of Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver, and one of the things they taught within the program was how they get the most out of their money, their return on investment, by reusing all of the ingredients throughout the entire meal. And it was something that struck a chord with me, and I have done my very best throughout my entire career to do the same thing. All of these skills have stayed with me, and this is an exact example of that. So what's happened is today I have to create an animated background for my Etoile website, English Teachers Online. And for the last couple of months I've been working with Lee. We've been doing a lot of role play for AI, and we've been doing this role play to give the computer examples of what to listen to. And because we need to get other teachers involved, and it is quite daunting, by recording our entire process, putting it online and saying, hey guys, have a look at this. If this interests you, perhaps you'd like to get involved. It made things a little bit more cozy, a little bit more warmer, less daunting, and a lot of people have given it a shot, so I'm really glad I did this. Now, because these were done over a Zoom meeting, the background was quite boring. It was black and white. So I cut it out and I replaced it with a background that was heavily inspired by WhatsApp. Now, the idea of animating this came to me just at the moment that I was going to start doing the yellow one, and I thought, no, do you know what? I'll leave it a couple of days and I've got to think of something to do with it to make it look a bit better. So I've decided to animate it. All I'm going to do is slowly rotate it 360 degrees just to give it a little bit of motion, because it's going to be too long for me just to be able to slowly zoom in or zoom out like you usually do for a photograph that's on the screen for a few seconds. This is going to be on there for the best part of 15 minutes. So I decided I'm going to rotate it 360 degrees over a couple of minutes. I can then loop it several times for the 15 minutes. That would be 7 times, wouldn't it? 8 times, and everything will be hunky-dory. And I realized, let's do a Jamie Oliver or a Gordon Ramsay, where what I'm going to do is I'm going to reuse it. So yeah, I'm going to create this animated screen where it rotates, and then afterwards we're going to use it as an end screen. Really, this is going to take 10 minutes. It's a really quick job, and then after we've done that, this is something you're going to be able to repeat. And then when we get on to the next video, which is going to be all about descriptions, then wow, your videos are going to slowly start getting better, your thumbnails are going to look good, your end screen is already going to be animated, and now your descriptions are going to be on point. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. So the first thing I'm going to do is sort out the size. I'm currently filming at 1080 by 1920, and because I want to rotate it, it's going to have to be bigger than the 1920 by 1920. It's actually got to be the width of one corner to the other, the John Travolta. So the easiest way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to draw a circle, and the circle is going to just be a little bit bigger than the actual oblong, which is going to be the 1080 by 1920. And that way I know that if I take the radius of my circle, it is going to be slightly bigger than the diagonal line of my oblong, of my screen size. And that way I know it's going to be able to rotate without there being any black bits in the corners because it's too small. And I've been able to do all of that without a calculator, and it will take me 2 seconds. And now I've got the size sorted out, all I have to do is worry about the colors. Now, because I don't have the original file, to change the color, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the hue. So as you can see here, I've got my orange, here I've got my green, and now I'm going to put it into Premiere. And then in Premiere, I will sort out the starting point is 0, the ending point, which is technically 360, is going to be 1, 0. The 1 represents the first loop, it could be 2, couldn't it? And the 0 is the fact that it's backed 360 degrees, and that's the actual loop. Now when it comes to rendering it out, I'm not going to render them out separately, so I've actually got to sit here and wait for it to finish before I can output the other one. I'm going to put them both in the queue. the encoder queue. Now this is really handy because when you're encoding something, it actually takes up a lot of the resources of a computer. It makes it too slow to use. So by adding things to the queue, and then when you've finished, clicking the play button, you can go walk off, you can go do something else, and this means the computer will be faster at rendering because you're not using any of the resources trying to do something else. And at the same time, it's less likely to go wrong. When you are strangling the resources of a computer, that's usually when it goes wrong and you end up losing your work. Now, I wish that this was something that I would have been able to have done sooner, but it's catch-22. When you first start and you're practicing, you need to render things out almost in real time so that you can see your mistakes. And then it's only when you've got better are you in a position to be able to just leave it and make fewer mistakes. So yeah, I can completely understand that at the beginning you're going to want to render this out as soon as possible so that you can see if it's perfect, and if it's not, you can improve something. But later on, you're going to be able to start using the queue. Okay, now I've done this in 2 minutes, and the reason why I've done it in a 2-minute block is because I can loop this up to my 15 minutes and I can use it for lots of different things. You're probably only going to do about 20 seconds worth, and the reason why 20 seconds worth is enough is that's the average length, or it might even be the maximum length of the end screen. And yeah, if you want to see what this looks like in my Etoile videos, which is for the AI stuff, I'll put a couple of links in the description. You never know, you might find it of interest. However, if you want to see what it's going to look like at an end screen, you'll see it here. Well, I hope you find this of interest. Thank you for listening.